And back to politics. And one race for Congress that's garnering a lot of attention. The Republican frontrunner for Georgia's District 14 congressional seat and professed QAnon believer. Marjorie Taylor Greene posted a photo of herself yesterday holding an AR-15, saying she wanted to go on the, quote, offense against 3 progressive female Democrats who refer to themselves as the Squad. In June, Politico uncovered hours of videos in which Greene expressed racist, Islamophobic, and anti-Semitic views, including one video in which she said that Muslims do not belong in government. Several top Republicans have since denounced Greene's candidacy, not including President Trump, who called her, quote, a future Republican star after winning her runoff primary last month. She was also invited to attend his Republican National Convention acceptance speech at the White House. Good Lord. Joining us now, President and CEO of Republican Main Street Partnership, which supports moderate Republicans in Congress, Sarah Chamberlain. Sarah, thank you so much for being on. There are moderate Republicans running, but what do we make of this QAnon believer that is getting the support of the president? How does one characterize this and try and help people understand what's really happening here?
Well, her election is unfortunate that she won the primary. Here at Republican Main Street Partnership, we got rid of Steve King. We beat him in the primary, so we were hoping that all would be good. I think that this cycle, she's not going to be a problem, but I think when she gets elected and her views become even more public, she will be a problem for the Republican Party moving forward.
So, but her views were pretty public, weren't they? Are you concerned that there is support for them?
I am very concerned there's support for them, but as I tour the country talking to suburban women, which is really what I'm doing right now, they're not familiar with her yet. I know she's getting some media, but she really hasn't penetrated into their homes. However, she certainly will when she becomes a member of Congress, just as Steve King has done for years.
Tell us about the candidates you are supporting.
So we defeated Steve King. So Randy Feenstra is pretty middle-of-the-road gentleman in Iowa. We've got 5 primary candidates that we won in gerrymandered districts by turning out the suburban women. And then we support sitting members such as Brian Fitzpatrick in the suburbs of Philadelphia, which I know you always talk about on the show. Don Bacon in Nebraska. So there are still moderates alive and well in this party, that they're not as vocal. They don't get as much media attention, but they're there. And the suburban women are planning on voting for them for all the research that we've done.
Katty Kay.
I was just wondering, particularly in the kind of case of Marjorie Taylor Greene, how much information do you have about what's going on Facebook, particularly in these kind of closed groups that often support these candidates that we can't see from the outside? How much, support do they have there? Because sometimes I feel with these more extreme candidates, we don't know from the outside how much support they have because we can't see what's going on in their closed group social media pages.
Well, from the outside, she really doesn't have that much support, but she certainly does within this group of individuals who are very loud. The majority of the people are not that loud, so they tend to be quiet. And as I said, most of the people I talk to, which I talk to about 250 suburban women a week, they don't know who she is. That has not penetrated through yet. But certainly if I do not talk to anyone in her crowd, but if I did, they certainly know who she is. And I think that's what's going to be a problem moving forward for the GOP, because those people who are loud and support her views will unite around her as she gets sworn in as a member of Congress. And I do believe she is going to be sworn in as a member of Congress. I don't think she's going to be beatable in that district.
Sarah Chamberlain, thank you very much for being on the show this morning.
Thanks for checking out MSNBC on YouTube, and make sure you subscribe to stay up to date on the day's biggest stories. And you can click on any of the videos around us to watch more from Morning Joe and MSNBC. Thanks so much for watching.